festival events, and it was Savannah, Raleigh, and Fairfax, but we're out here now using, and I want to talk to you guys about like what you are thinking. Well, Evan, we can talk to you about anything, but Shannon specifically, I want to talk to you about what is going on with this coronavirus, these viruses in general. People are talking. I've interviewed Dr. Clapper, other people, back to animal agriculture. So exactly what is the connection there with these virus pandemics and animal agriculture?
Yeah, this is super frustrating. I mean, we shouldn't be in this situation right now. And in my belief, it's solely because we're exploiting, and these are zoonotic diseases, and they can only come from animals. And so if we weren't doing all these terrible things, then this couldn't have happened to us. And right now, a lot of people aren't talking about it because it's not as contagious as far as at such immediate risk. But India has a confirmed strain of, Germany has a confirmed strain of bird flu. China has a confirmed strain, a very deadly one of bird flu, very close to the epivirus that we're dealing with, COVID-19. And also the Philippines have a confirmed strain of bird flu going on right now. And this is all announced within the past week or so. China one's been going on a bit longer, but it's really scary that, and it's frustrating for those of us who choose to reject this virus and not be a part of it, that we're put at risk as well. And that doesn't just go for this situation. That's with the environmental degradation. I mean, the numbers are showing now that kids under the age of 4 might not even make it to see retirement age because of the devastation we've done to the planet due to world animal agriculture. So it's very unfair. People tell us that their choice.
Sounds like for a while now, people have been saying, well, hey, it is my choice, like you said, and I can choose what I want, and it's just me. I'm an individual. But like you said, I think we're recognizing the links now that really bad choices could affect the entire human population way, because we're also connected, not just through the internet, but we're connected. I think people travel more than ever now, right? So if you get a disease, if you get some type of a virus like this going on right now, transmittable. With everyone traveling, it just spreads right across the whole planet like nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, it's scary. And yeah, at this point, it's also really alarming to see made to the grocery store and all the pictures online showing these empty shelf and menstrual cycles, because these are what the products that got us in this mess, number one. Also, these are not system builders. They're the opposite. So people are not being intelligent with their choices, and they're also perishable items. So it's like, it doesn't really make much sense to me.
Yeah, you're right. I've been talking with people on the specific nutritional side, and they told me the same thing, that people are still making bad choices, and those fruits and vegetables are in there in abundance, the ones they should be taking to boost their immune health. A lot of people, hopefully folks will contemplate their choices. Videos like this will get out that give them a different view than they've heard before, and one they can check out on their own. Maybe they'll do some of their own research, and I think they'll probably draw similar conclusions. And this is the kind of stuff where we don't like things to happen bad like this, but maybe it'll be a boost to think in a different manner.
Yeah, hopefully a little bit of a wake-up call. It seems like a lot of people are telling us and other actors that this is not the time to talk about this with the situation right now. This is exactly what we need to be talking about right now. There's no better time to talk about it. It's what's called.
Yeah, you're right, because I've been around long enough. I just turned 50. I know that motivation is the key to everything, and there's obvious links to animal agriculture that people really need to rethink their choices. And agriculture, somebody bought an animal product at some point that was sick. The animal was sick, and of course we never know if any of these animals are sick, and lots of them are.
Yeah, people are always have this different image in their heads, but Evan and I have been so many of all different sizes, everything from backyard operations to the largest pig farm in the country, the largest slaughter. We've been to these places. Is that the large, vast majority of these animals are not in good conditions. They're
correct.
Covered in disease. They're sick, they're vomiting on the trucks, they're foaming at the mouths. It's horrendous. And
Yeah,
it's
I
just,
agree. I agree. That's a great point, because I've told this to people recently. I was like, if you're eating animal products, how do you know that this product that you got from an animal, that animal wasn't sick at the time it was slaughtered, or it wasn't sick at, cancer or some other. I mean, do you think these animals are treated well to the point is no? It doesn't matter where this animal was raised. If it's raised to for someone's profit, they're going to put the least amount of money into it possible, and no system to say, oh well, this animal was in this type of a health state during its life, a different grade of health state of the animal. That doesn't exist.
yeah, these organizations that are supposed to be monitoring it are run by the same who profit off of these industries. So, for example, the USDA is known to certify, I don't like the word beef, but for purposes, I'll use it right now, but they're known to certify beef-first lesions and pus-filled wounds as USDA pure. So we can't trust any of these organizations. I mean, we just have to use common sense. These are decomposing body parts. If
Yeah,
we look at
yeah,
all the other animals, like, we're not meant to eat them. Our intestinal length, our stomach acidity, the way that our jaws sit, this is not anything we should be putting into our bodies in the first place. And yes, we are able to survive, but we're not doing well. We're not thriving of unnecessary reasons. But I know VeganEvan here is just dying to talk.
oh yeah, go ahead.
What do you think about all this, Ev? How do you feel about what's going on in the world right now?
Well, as my mom said, we're trying to make the right choice. We're trying to help the world, to save the world. We're trying to help the animals and everyone's health and the planet. But other people's choices are affecting us, and it's not okay.
Yeah, I agree. That's the thing. If it's one thing if your choice results in a positive benefit, but if it results in effectively potentially impacts the entire human race negatively, that this is not something we can be okay with. And Shannon, I want to go back to one thing you mentioned about, you said the USDA might certify something as okay when they see an obvious thing. Now think about, this is what I try to think about, how can I convince someone of this? Well, that's obvious if you can see it. But we all know that most medical conditions you can't see, right? You have to get an image or x-ray. So that doesn't even take into account any of that. They have no time to check, to x-ray each animal to make sure there's no cancer growth or infection or whatever else inside. They have no idea.
Lab or anything like that.
Right. So there's no real no real diagnosis that we would ever think is acceptable for anything in a human in these animals. Not really. And so you just have to assume that you're putting unhealthiness into your body. It's unfortunate on so many levels, but I try to get people to think, and that maybe that will convince them. So, Evan, you're doing a great job as well getting the message out to kids, because people see you and you talk in an intelligent manner and you talk in a way that makes sense. I mean, I just want to thank you for everything that you're doing to help people, animals, and the planet. I think you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and also, let's see, what else can we talk about?
Well, we have these two campaigns that are going on, if I can show. So one of them was started by Direct Action Everywhere. And so right now, they are asking everybody to take the Cancel Animal Ag Challenge. So if you type into social media, hashtag Cancel Animal Ag, you'll see pictures and different things that lots of people have done to raise awareness. They're also asking that everyone please tag California Governor Gavin Newsom, because he seems to be one of the people who is taking the coronavirus a bit more seriously as far as what's happened in California so far in comparison to the rest of the country with the lockdown and all. And So that is really a great campaign. And then before we knew that that was happening, we had a meeting last Sunday with some activists coming up with ways to do activism from home and raise awareness. And this is another campaign. Now, it's very important that anyone who participates in this does caption it, because we don't want people to think that we are just trying to push an agenda here by confusing people and making them think that if they eat any animal product right now, they're going to automatically get COVID-19. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that, yeah, eating animals and using animals is what is causing every single one of these zoonotic diseases, and COVID-19 and all coronaviruses are zoonotic. So we need to raise awareness. So for that campaign on Facebook, there's a new page called Signs for Change, Animal Rights Advocates. And we're going to run this first one for about 2 weeks. And then every Monday past that, we're going to try and come up with a new sign to raise awareness, to flood social media, especially during a time when we're all stuck at home.
Yeah, I mean, when we have people's attention, it's like almost like a captive audience right now. This is a time to do something like that for sure. So yeah, you guys are doing great work, and just keep it up. I mean, we'll hopefully be doing some more interviews with you in the near future, find out about how things are going with this. But in the meantime, just know that your efforts are I think being fruitful. That's the plant-based way to look at it. and you're helping out for sure at a time when people really need to re-examine their habits on a number of levels. And this is just bringing it to the forefront. I really do hope that people don't waste this time, and if they've got time on their hands, just end up. Sometimes that's what people do, but at some point, we need to recognize. I think as the world progresses on, we become more and more connected. It's so important for us to consider the greater good, and to consider what is going on in the world, and how we can have a positive or negative impact here. And so you guys are doing a great job, and thank you for being out there.
Thank you, Mike, for all the hard work you're doing. You're really working diligently to try to help people to learn what's going on right now. Yeah,
well, I consider it a privilege. I'm just glad to have work like this to do. I'm sure you are the same. And just trying to get experts like you all are experts in this area of animal activism, and just get experts at every different level. And every time I interview more people and talk to more people, the response is the same. I think we all know what we need to do. The only question is, how quickly can we get this information out to people, and how quickly can people act? And hopefully, with more efforts, people will act more quickly.
Yeah, I just want to ask everybody who might be watching, if you're not already vegan, please go vegan now and help us to prevent the next pandemic from happening. There are far worse pandemics that are brewing in factory farms right now, and we need to put an end to this. We have every single reason to go vegan. If you love your friends and your family members, please stop feeding them body parts and secretions that are not healthful for them. If you care about the environment and the planet that we all share, please stop buying things that are causing the most devastation to it.
Yeah, make the right choice, because if the coronavirus, it happened so easily, imagine what could happen from eating animals.
Yeah, and these viruses, they're becoming more and more resistant. We're feeding the animals most of the antibiotics, so we're creating superbugs, and this is scary, but it's only going to get scarier. So I think that this is really a good time for reflection and looking in the mirror and seeing how we can change. And there's amazing resources everywhere, and there's great documentaries. If you're bored at home, there's a new awesome cooking show that Jane Velez-Mitchell has put out that's on Amazon Prime now. There's The Game Changers on Netflix, What the Health, Cowspiracy. There's so many, and we can really just all take this time to educate ourselves, and just nobody needs to feel guilty about their past choices, because we've all been raised into a world where this violence has been normalized. It's not our fault. But once we know better, we can do better, and we have to stop being so resistant to positive change.
Yeah, open-minded. I mean, it's very important for people to have an open mind. People need to know that they don't know everything. I don't know everything. I'm constantly learning in this movement. I feel like, well, I turned vegan 6 years ago. I guess that's it, right? Well, no, because there's so many different levels to this. And I feel like the more I learn, the more it convinces me that this is the right path for people to go on,
Definitely. Yeah, I haven't eaten an animal in over 23 years. Yeah. I've been vegan over 4 years, and I'm still learning every single day. And I sometimes have very strong opinions, and when I find out new information, I evolve. And that's what we should all be doing. And there's awesome resources online. Amazing free vegan starter kit at milliondollarvegan.com. If you want to sign up right for the starter kit, milliondollarvegan.com/go-vegan. There's the free challenge where they'll even provide a nutritionist for free, challenge22.com, which people have been very successful with transitioning through that program. And it's all free. We just want to make the world a better place for everybody who lives here. Over 100,000 innocent animals are being murdered every second. And as a population, as a species, we consider ourselves to pretty much be animal lovers. And this just doesn't make sense. So we just need to wake up.
Disconnect, cognitive dissonance, right? That's the term.
Yeah.
Evan, you probably know that at a young age. I had no idea what that was at 9 years old. And Evan, also, I think it's important you're here. You obviously want to have a healthy adulthood, right? You want to have a good life. And I think you recognize at a young age why this is so important and why all the efforts that your mom is doing and you are doing are really just serving. It's like selfless types of things. You're going to help everybody out in the world. You're going to have a good life as you become an adult, but because of your efforts, everyone will enjoy life so much more, and have fun. That's really what it's about, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, well, thanks for being with us. We will talk to you guys again soon.
Thank you.
Bye.